Join us on Canterbury Music every Wednesday night at 7:30 on CTV, or head to the CTV website or our Facebook page for all the episodes on demand. I'm here at the Ducks Live with Tiki Taane and Jayson Norris. How's it going, guys?
Beautiful, thank you.
How are you, bro?
I'm really good, bro. Really good. Good to meet you, bro. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, there we go. Now, tell us, how did the idea of the tour come about?
Well, we played together in London last year. I was over there with Shapeshift and I put on a London gig and asked Jayson if he wanted to play as well, and that's where it all kind of happened, I guess. And then from there, we're like, let's try and do something here in New Zealand. And so, and here we are. So, kind of how it happened.
Yeah, we sort of the set that we do is quite similar in a way of like it's acoustic guitar and we do a lot of looping, so it was like a perfect match.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. So why the acoustic way? Match made in heaven, eh?
Well, acoustics, that's how a song starts off mostly sometimes, you know, you write a song on acoustic guitar or piano or something. And for me it's more intimate and real and people can connect with it a lot of the time.
And it's cheaper as well, you don't have to have it. Pay a drummer or a bass player or a guitarist. Yeah. No, it's cool, man, like, because you can break it right down. And when it's just you and an acoustic guitar, you're not hiding behind anything, and it's really intimate, and you can kind of really get a message across and
connect with the audience.
Yeah, and it's like it's quite vulnerable as well. It's quite nerve-wracking as well because you're like, it's like that, and that's, I think sometimes that's what resonates with the audience. They get pulled in a lot more.
Yeah.
So it's been heaps of fun, especially for me to be on this tour, because it's like having to really go, okay, it's just me, you know what I mean? And in the past I've had bands and stuff, so you can, you know, the saxophone can do something, and the guitarist can do something, and the drummer does something, you know, so you kind of got all that extra stuff. So when you pull it back to acoustic, it's like, oh, you got to really kind of...
Yeah, I suppose if you miss a key, they notice, so...
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Jace does it all the time.
Yeah, Jace, you've been off in the UK, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been over there 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
so have you done a lot of touring over there? And...
I mean, I'm gigging all the time, and 90% of my work is acoustic anyway, so yeah, it's pretty much how it is for me.
So what's it like being back in front of a New Zealand audience? Is it...
Most of the people that come into the shows have either come through London at some stage, and that's how I've made the connection with them. They've all come home and they will come back and they come back, and so it's like seeing familiar faces all the time at these shows.
That's awesome. So do you guys do any like duets together? Do you play, or is it just solo?
Yeah, we do stuff at the end. At the end, we get up, we have a jam. We've been jamming a song that Jason's come up with that was sort of been putting together. We kind of went into my studio last week to lay down the basis of it, but we've been jamming that, so hopefully that will come out as a single at some point. And so we've been doing that at the end. We're getting G's Harlan up and Camilla on bass, and then at the end of the night it's just a free-for-all kind of jam. It's cool. So it's kind of the exciting bit for me anyway. Yeah.
Something a bit different.
So I try to home through my set and then get to the jam.
The bit that you love, eh?
Yeah.
It's good that you leave it till last, though, I suppose. Gives you something to work towards.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's all. And so how did Jess become involved in this whole thing? She's US based, isn't she?
Boston.
Yeah,
She's based in Boston, which is bless up to everybody in Boston. There's some crazy stuff going down over there. But she's based over there, and she just put her hand up and wanted to be on the tour. We were planning to do some production together. She wants me to do some stuff for her next album, and that. So it just all kind of fell through, really, came together.
So what's it like travelling as part of a trio rather than like solo, you know, touring and stuff? Is it a lot better, do you find?
Yeah, this tour's been fun. Yeah. We're all getting along like one big family. It's wicked, actually.
Yeah, it's okay. When you travel by yourself, you find that you kind of get you get quite lonely, you know, and so this has been fun. We've all just been having a bit of a laugh, really. It's been cool. Yeah.
It helps when you all sort of get along and connect.
I suppose you bounce off each other as well, and you've got something to go from.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's the plan from here? What's the big plans?
Well, I go back through Singapore next week for 2 shows. Then I'm back to London, and then we've got a few festivals and that lined up over there, plus my usual sort of stuff over there. And then I'm hoping to be back around Christmas time. Hopefully work in the studio with Tiki.
Yeah.
And then we'll hopefully work something out for next year.
For Australia, right?
Yeah.
Do the kind of same thing we're doing now. touring but through Australia, but we'll both have records out. Your record, I've got a live album that I've finished with an orchestra that comes out September off a DVD and a live album, all that kind of stuff. Awesome. So that'll be fun. And what else? For me, Shapeshifters album comes out, so I've got to go do a bunch of shows with those guys, which is awesome. Their new album is wicked, man. Yeah, you should get those guys on the show.
Yeah.
Since they're Christchurch boys as well.
They're gonna have to be who's next, eh?
Yeah. So we've got heaps going on. It's really cool.
Awesome.
Really cool.
All right, and I guess the real question that all the viewers love to hear is, what would you say to aspiring people, wanting to get out there and break into the music scene?
I guess it's these days you got to be really. You just can't sort of rest on having one talent. You've got to be able to. If you're a singer-songwriter, that's fantastic. But you've got to learn to be a manager. You've got to learn to be a producer, an accountant, a lawyer, a tour manager, booking agent. You've got to just basically learn everything to be able to kind of survive, I guess, and have longevity. And I guess at the end of the day, you've got to always break it down to it's about what you're in it for. And, especially I can speak for myself, and I know Jason's the same. It's like, it's all just about making music and art and doing it. And for me, seeing the world and all that kind of stuff, and it's never been about making money. So I've never made choices based upon money. I've made choices based upon personal gratification, just what feels good, I guess, you know what I mean? So it depends on what you're in it for, and if you're in it for the right reasons, then you'll have a great time. But if you want to make mad money out of this, then good luck.
But commit yourself to it. Don't just think it's just going to fall into your lap, because it ain't. You've got to get out there and make it happen.
Make it connections.
Yeah,
drive, eh?
What's that saying? Good things come to those who wait, but great things come to those who make it happen.
That's it, bro.
Nice. Did you make that up?
False.
We're
claiming that.
It's deep, man.
Jayson Norris words right there. All right, well, thank you guys very much for coming on the show. I very much appreciate it, and all the best for the future.
Thank you.
Cool.
Join us on Canterbury Music every Wednesday night at 7:30 on CTV, or head to the CTV website or our Facebook page for all the episodes on demand.